Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. I am Ty Glenn. So hopefully you guys this Monday is starting off right on a good note. I know there's a little bit of fog this morning, but hopefully your day is starting off right. You're in a good mood, all that other good stuff. So this is going to be a short episode for today. So not really that much we're going to discuss, but without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So getting Malkin not just a hat trick and records an assist in yesterday's Kraft Hockeyville event in the Penguins' 5-2 win over the Ottawa Senators. So the big stars showed up. They showed out. Sidney Crosby also had a 2-goal game. Chris Letang and Brian Rust each had 2 assists in the win as well. So they absolutely came to play. I mean, they showed up and showed out. And Tristan Jarry and Philip Larson combined to make 36 saves for the Penguins, who are now 1-2-0 of the preseason. So Tristan Jarry made 24 saves on 26 shots faced in net, while Philip Larson stopped all 12 shots he faced in net. So very nice performance from both the goalies. And of course, one thing I do want to remind is that next Tuesday is opening night of the 2024-25 NHL regular season. I am so excited, and I know all of you guys are too. That was one thing I wanted to know. I'll probably say it again at the end of this episode, since I didn't really say at the start of the episode. But yeah, next Tuesday is opening night of the 2024-25 NHL season. Of course, the Devils and Sabres will start their season early this Friday for the Global Series in Czechia. Anyway, for Ottawa's side, Nick Cousins and Tim Stützle scored for them. They are now 2-1-1 during their preseason. And Anton Forsberg made 14 saves in the game as well. So, guess we didn't get to see Linus Ullmark in the game. I thought he was going to start. He did actually make his debut for Ottawa in the preseason as well. So we got to see what he looks like in the Senators jersey. Of course, he was acquired in a trade with the Boston Bruins for Jonas Korpisalo back on June 24th. Stanley Cup Final was still going on at that time. So just wanted to tell you guys that just for a little refresher. Pittsburgh will head to Detroit to take on the Red Wings for back-to-back meetings. Of course, this was a game that was supposed to be played, I believe, Friday, but it got canceled, so they moved it to Monday. And, of course, the other Red Wings players, because the Red Wings, they have a split squad game today. So, of course, they'll play the Pittsburgh Penguins today at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then the other players will head to Buffalo to take on the Sabres at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So it's a split squad game for the Red Wings today. So Pittsburgh will play the first half, and, of course, the other half of the Red Wings will head to Buffalo to take on the Sabres. And, of course, the Senators, they head to Montreal to take on the Canadiens at the Bell Center Tuesday. Of course, we did see Patrick Laine got injured in that game on Saturday night in the Habs 2-1 loss against the Maple Leafs. I'll go into more of that throughout the show, and we'll tell you guys how will this affect the Canadiens heading into the 2024-2025 NHL season. So stay tuned right there. Moving on now, so Dylan Guenther and Clayton Keller's three-point night gives Utah Hockey Club the 6-3 win over the Colorado Avalanche. Utah is now 3-1-0 of the preseason, so they're really making a big name for themselves. And I know the preseason doesn't count, but at least this gives them some momentum heading into their inaugural season, which they play their opening night against the Chicago Blackhawks. This will come on at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time next Tuesday on ESPN. Believe it or not, I'm staying up all night to watch that game because, of course, it's the Chicago Blackhawks. That's my favorite NHL team, in case you guys didn't know. I said it on this podcast a bunch of times, and I said it on my YouTube channel as well. And also, they're facing against Utah Hockey Club, who's brand new, starting their inaugural season. Of course, they were in Arizona. Now they went to Utah, called themselves Utah Hockey Club. Fun fact, I do want to say this because I don't think I said this on my podcast yet. This is just a temporary name. Next season, by next season, or probably somewhere in 2025, we could see an actual name for Utah, but they're just going with this temporary name as of right now. But next season, probably somewhere in 2025, we could see this later on in the spring of 2025 or probably in the summertime, but they are going to get an official name for Utah Hockey Club. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but if you didn't know that, I'm just telling you right now because I don't think I said this on my podcast yet. But yeah, Utah Hockey Club starting off right. Of course, the big guys came to play. Dylan Gunther, Clayton Keller, 3-point night in that win against Colorado. Dylan Gunther had 2 goals and assists. Clayton Keller had a goal and 2 assists. And, of course, Mikhail Sergachev had 2 assists for Utah Hockey Club. Of course, he was acquired in a trade with the Tampa Bay Lightning on June 29th. So, of course, another key addition for Utah Hockey Club heading into their inaugural season. And Carl Vermelka made 26 saves for Utah Hockey Club, so he certainly put on a show in the crease right there. For Colorado's side, Sam Molesky had a goal and assist for the Avs, and Miles Wood and Callum Ritchie also lit the lamp for the Colorado Avalanche, so they put their names on the score sheet. And Eustace Annuin managed to make 32 saves for the Avalanche, who are surprisingly 0-3-0 of the preseason. I don't know what's going on with the Avs because I was not expecting them to be starting off bad in the preseason. But hey, it's the preseason. It doesn't count. But I always like to say it gives you a little bit of momentum heading into this season. I know they're still without the captain, Gabriel Landeskog, who's been out for a long time, and he hasn't played since the 2021-2022 NHL season, which that was the season that they won the Cup. So I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully they get Gabriel Landeskog back soon. But, hey, they still got their top players like Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, and, of course, Cale Makar, who's probably the number 1 defenseman in the league. No hate on any other defenseman. I know Quinn Hughes, the reigning Norris Trophy winner. And a few more. There's a few more other good defensemen in the league, but, of course, Cale Makar, he's at the number 1 on my list. So, but no hate on other defensemen. But we just hope to see Gabriel Landeskog back in the lineup soon for Colorado because he's been out for a long time. But anyway, Utah Hockey Club continues their 4-game preseason road trip when they head to San Jose to take on the Sharks Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So they'll be facing Macklin Celebrini and the San Jose Sharks, which, P.S., I cannot wait for the Blackhawks to take on Macklin Celebrini and the Sharks in our home opener. Our home opener is October 17th, and we'll be playing the Sharks, so it'll be a Celebrini versus Bedard show. I know every hockey fan is going to be tuned into that. It's not just Blackhawks fans, Sharks fans, but every hockey fan will be tuned into that game. But anyway, for the Avalanche, they will remain at home to face the Vegas Golden Knights Tuesday, and that will start at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. You can watch this on national television. It will come on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max, so you'll be able to watch it on either one of those channels. Of course, if you have a subscription to HBO Max, you should be able to watch it on there. But if not, you can watch it on TNT or True TV. Moving on now, so Logan Stankoven scores twice in the Stars' 4-2 win over the Minnesota Wild. So, of course, he's another emerging young rookie that's looking to make a name for himself heading into the season. Of course, we got other rookies like Mateev Michikov, who had, I think, a 2-goal game in Saturday's preseason overtime win against the Boston Bruins. So we got to see a 2-goal game from him. I think he also notched an assist in that game. So we got him, Rucker McGorty, Dustin Wolf, and a few more other rookies to watch out for in the season. So it's not just him, it's all these other rookies. So got a lot of rookies to watch this season, by the way. But Logan Stankoven for sure making a name for himself in that Stars win over the Wild. Casey DeSmith made 13 saves for the Stars. Of course, they are now 5-0-0 of the preseason. And I don't know if you guys saw my bold predictions video on my TG Hockey channel a while back, but I said the Stars will take home the President's Trophy, have a lot of depth, not just on offense, but on defense as well. The goaltending is absolutely stacked with Jake Oettinger and, of course, Casey DeSmith backing him up. They did have Scott Wedgwood at first, but he went over to Nashville. But despite that, they still have pretty good depth on the team. And, of course, they also brought in not just Casey DeSmith, but Matt Dummer on D. And they brought in a few other players, too. But Casey DeSmith and Matt Dummer are just the two players that I know for sure that they brought in. For the Stars, Archer Heary, hopefully I pronounced that last name right, and Colin Blackwell scored for Dallas. Frederick Goudreau and Travis Boyd scored for Minnesota. And Jesper Wallstedt made 25 saves for the Wild, who are now 2-2-0 of the preseason. And the Stars wrap up their preseason in St. Louis for a little Central Division showdown. When they take on the Blues Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Their first game of the season is on the road in Nashville when they take on the Predators at Bridgestone Arena. So if you guys are able to, you can head down to Nashville and watch the Predators. I think this is their home opener of the season. They don't start off the season on a road trip. I think this is their first home game of the season. So they'll be facing the Stars on opening night. Actually, opening night is the October 8th. But you guys know what I mean. They'll take on the Predators October 10th for their season opener, and that will be the Predators' first home game of the season. So if you guys are able to, you can head down to Nashville to take on the Predators can take on the Stars. The Wild, on the other hand, will remain at home to take on the Chicago Blackhawks Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So another Central Division showdown right there. Moving on now, so this was from Friday's game. Of course, there was 3 games on tap for Sunday. Friday's game in the Global Series, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Devin Levi combined for 17 saves, and the Sabres 5-0 shutout win over EHC Red Bull in Germany. So, of course, J.J. Peterka also scored in his hometown as well. He's from that area, Munich, Germany. And he scored in his hometown. The Sabres outshot EHC Red Bull by 40-17. So they really outshot them. They played their hardest in the game. Their last preseason game is at home against the Red Wings, and they will start their regular season Friday. I know I said the Global Series for them against this team. I didn't mean that. So they will start their regular season Friday against the Devils for the NHL Global Series in Czechia. And they will air on NHL Network at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So you will be able to watch it on there this Friday. So, of course, they start their regular season early. All other teams start their regular season on October 8th. So October 8th is the official NHL season. But for the Devils and Sabres, they start their regular season early. All right, so bad news for Canadiens fans. Patrick Laine leaves their preseason game with a knee injury from Saturday. Of course, the Habs also lost in that game 2-1. I know PK Subban wasn't happy about it because I saw him posted a video about the injury and stuff, and he wasn't happy about it. And I know a lot of Canadiens fans are not happy about it, especially since he was a key addition to their team this offseason because he was acquired in the trade with the Columbus Blue Jackets on August the 19th. The injury happened in the first period where he had a knee-on-knee collision with Toronto forward Cedric Parr at 3 minutes and 49 seconds of the first period. And, of course, like I mentioned, key addition for the Habs, especially since the team finished last in the Atlantic Division last season. 30, 36, and 16 record last year. Not good stats. Not a good record right there for the Canadiens. And, of course, he scored 64 goals with the Columbus Blue Jackets, so 64 goals, 74 assists for 138 points with the team in 174 games played. And with that scoring prowess, he's also a big guy as well. So that will be another reason why this will affect the Canadiens. And, of course, in the past, we've seen Canadiens dealt with injuries like Kirby Dach, who's still out. Cole Caulfield, he's not injured right now, but he was injured, I think, in the past before. So they had a lot of past injuries, so I'm kind of not really surprised about this injury. But, of course, without Laine, the Canadiens will need to lean heavily on Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki to carry the offensive load. And, of course, they might need to arrange their lines a little bit and shuffle offensive roles because of Patrick Laine's absence. But, yeah, tough injury. And hopefully he doesn't be out for too long. There's no estimated time for when Patrick Laine will be out, but hopefully he comes back. I know he won't be available at the start of the regular season because it's literally just happened Saturday. So hopefully it's not a long injury, but hopefully sometime in the regular season he will be back in the lineup for the Canadiens. All right, so moving on to the preseason games today. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 preseason games on tap for today. So, of course, I mentioned earlier in the podcast, the Red Wings have a split squad game. So, of course, the first half will be at Little Caesars Arena to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. That'll be at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The other half of the team will head to Buffalo, New York to take on the Sabres at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then we got a Metropolitan Division showdown rivalry between the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils. That will come on NHL Network at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then we got the Flyers and Islanders coming on at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then we got the Battle Florida Atlantic Division showdown between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers. That will come on at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then we got the Washington Capitals taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then the Seattle Kraken head up north to take on the Calgary Flames at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The Canucks will be in Edmonton to take on the Edmonton Oilers at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then the last game of the night is a California Division showdown between the California Pacific Division showdown between the LA Kings and the Anaheim Ducks, and that will come on at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time on NHL Network. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for this episode. So just a little short episode, not really that much to get into for this show, but I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, having you guys listen to the Hockey Talk TG podcast really makes my day a lot better. Of course, next Tuesday is opening night of the 2024-25 NHL season. Of course, I believe there's 3 games on tap. I could be wrong, but I will look it up after this episode just in case. So 3 games on tap. We got the St. Louis Blues taking on the Seattle Kraken. That will be an early afternoon game. And then we got the Boston Bruins taking on the Florida Panthers. Of course, the Florida Panthers will be raising their Stanley Cup banner because over the summer, we saw them win the Stanley Cup against the Edmonton Oilers, Game 7 Stanley Cup Final. Sam Reinhart had the game-winning goal in that game. So they'll be raising the Stanley Cup banner that night. And in the final game of the night, a little late-night game, a game that I will be staying up for, will feature my Chicago Blackhawks taking on Utah Hockey Club. That will come on at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. All these games will be on ESPN as well, so you'll be able to watch it on there. And, yeah, that's basically it. So 8 more days to opening night of the 2024-25 NHL season. Of course, that starts next Tuesday, October 8th. So really excited, and I know you guys are too. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. God first as always. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys Wednesday for another episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. Take care.